What is wrong with Trinitarian scholars? Number one, they say they believe in one God, yet they teach that there are 2 and 3 gods. For example, John 1:1, they say that in the beginning was God, and with God was his Logos, which was also God. So they're teaching 2 gods, and that is incorrect. Number 2, they make Jews out to be heathen or Gentiles. They take away from the most wonderful thing that Jews have as a heritage, and that is that God is one. Yet when the Trinity is introduced, some Jews fall for this false lie, and they abandon the faith of Abraham. Abraham believed in one God, and he served one God, and he promoted one God. And so when Jews accept the Trinity, they abandon the faith of Abraham. Number 3, they teach that the Son is eternal, and then they also teach that the Son is begotten. This is a contradiction. How can the Son be eternal but also be begotten in heaven? This is a huge contradiction that scholars have not fixed for centuries. And they will ignore it because they don't have an answer. Do you have an answer for this? Number 4, they ignore the thousands of references in the Bible that refer to God as He. Never does the Bible refer to God as they. The references in the Bible are always to God as He. For example, Hebrews 11:6, where it says that without faith it's impossible to please Him, to please God. It is a requirement that those who come to God believe that He is, and that He's a rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. You can also look at the 2 verses that talk about the Godhead, and it mentions that the Godhead is He. Number 5, they willingly cover up the fact that the Trinity is the foundation of Mystery Babylon. This is such a serious thing for scholars, Trinitarian scholars, to act like they're teaching Bible when they're really covering up the fact that this is the foundation of the Roman Catholic Church. It was from the beginning and has always been, and the Catholic Church, even up to now, lives up to its beliefs that the Trinity is its foundation. And they want all Christians to have the Trinity as a foundation. And this has been a lie that's been taught for centuries. So when you accept the Trinity, you're accepting the foundation of Mystery Babylon, along with all the other doctrines that Mystery Babylon has, which are all heresies. The Trinity is just the number 1 heresy of Mystery Babylon. And finally, number 6, it is difficult to abandon the Trinity doctrine. You know why many people do not let go of it? Because it is a spiritual stronghold. The book of Revelation says that Mystery Babylon not only deceives and persecutes, but it also uses witchcraft. It uses sorcery to keep its people in line. So if you're a Trinitarian, you struggle with letting go because there is a spiritual stronghold on your life. And in order to break it, you need to agree with others that they will pray for you and that you're willing to let go of this. But if you're not willing to let go of it, it's a stronghold that will stay there until you die. So this is a very serious matter, that the Trinity is a spiritual stronghold on its people. It turns a Jewish scholar into a heathen, believing in more than the faith of Abraham. Oh, and one last thing. Number 7 is that about 6 or 7 years ago, information came out that the Trinity was really the imagination of a Jewish Greek scholar or philosopher of the first century, Philo of Alexandria. And it amazes me that after all these years, not one single Trinitarian scholar mentions this information. This tells me either that they're very ignorant about what's happening today, and it also tells me that Trinitarian scholars are covering up the facts, and they don't want you to know the truth of the Trinity doctrine. The Trinity doctrine is a pagan doctrine. Philo of Alexandria was meditating when a voice told him that God had never been alone, but that with God there were two other powers who he would call persons. And he called them all kinds of things. He called the word, the logos, the second God. And this is exactly what the Trinitarians of today are saying, that the Son is a second God. And they are completely wrong on this. So this is my final point, really, is that why is it that no one mentions Philo of Alexandria among Trinitarian circles? They're either ignorant of this information, or they are covering up so that you will not know the truth of where the Trinity came from.
Deny God is an omnipresent being, not a person, a thing. To say he's three is limiting God to a numbers game.